There is an indefinable, mysterious power that pervades everything.
That power that can make a way out of nowhere.
Today, in the world, there's so much suffering because of that one of prayer.
To the main event.
Welcome everybody to the Prayer Revolution. Thank you so much for being here. We are glad to have you with us. My name is Doyal. I'm here with my good friend Vira, and we are here to say a morning prayer and to discuss the bringing the mood of prayer into our daily lives. This is your daily prayer podcast, and we're glad that you're part of it. How you doing, Vira?
Doing good. I was walking over to the office this morning and I was like noticing, I was like, man, I was really feeling the Doyle Bob because I was like flying. I was like, man, I still have the New York feet, like Floridians. If they saw me walking, they'd be like, is that guy on something? Like, is that guy okay? Like doing like a ninja walk. I might as well have just been jogging. But I took a deep breath and I was like, imagine, I just like it flashed in my mind. It's like, imagine if I was walking with my son and he was just learning how to walk. Like, how would I walk if I was walking with my son, And I was like, I would slow down. I'd go from like, whatever. I'm like going, I'd probably slow down like 5 times. And it's just a totally different life. It's a completely different life. It's a different perspective. It's a different experience. And, I think, it takes a level of trust to slow down. And so I'm reflecting on that in my day. I have a tendency, we're in a lifestyle course right now, and we have our third session of 4 sessions today. And we're going to be talking a lot about time. And when I look at my schedule, I'm like, bro, you could be in the desert with like no internet connection and you would still schedule every minute of your day. You'd even schedule your time where you do nothing and you would still do something in that nothing time. So it's like a certain nature of passion, a certain nature of doing is so prevalent in my consciousness as a young dude. And just looking at kind of wherever we go, and it's like a principle. Wherever we go in the world, we bring our consciousness with us. We bring our mindset with us. The old Bengali proverb that we bring our forehead wherever we go, right? We are who we are, and then we can just bring that into any given circumstance. And so that's in like a very small way, but it goes for really, our state of consciousness in any environment. And so I want to look at that a little bit more. I want to explore that a little bit more. I'll do that, of course, in my own time, and maybe if it's relevant here, to see, what is with what it feels like to me is, like kind of like this pushing energy. It's like a push, like life is a push. Each day is kind of a push. I'm like, what is that? Like, okay, I'm gonna take a little bit of time and look at that and see if that's really serving, see how much that's serving.
So you were walking super fast to the office this morning, and it reminded you of me and how fast paced I am, and you thought, how could I be less like Doyal?
No.
I'm gonna pray about that this morning.
You know what happened, actually, and you want to know how I thought of you this morning, is that Deanna was really, she's appreciating you. She's appreciating some of your writing.
She's an appreciator.
And I wanted to appreciate that writing too. So I was looking at it and reading it and listening to your words. And that is why I was thinking of you, and I was feeling so grateful. And then I was remembering your lessons of not, no matter where we go, we could, there's always going to be a faster and a slower walker. No matter where we go, we're going to we bring that mindset. So,
wow. So you weren't just speed walking; you were looking at your phone while doing it.
Yeah,
you are a New Yorker to the core, buddy. You can take the boy out of the city, but you can't take the city out of the boy.
I had one eye on my phone and the other eye on the road. I was like, cyborg.
Oh, Krishna. You're great. Well, thank you so much for your appreciation, and thank Diana as well. I don't know if she's still here on Instagram, but thank you so much, Diana. She's super appreciative soul and
Hmm.
sees the good and brings it out in others. And so, thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Super grateful to be with you guys this morning. And yeah, let us. I love Barbara Sharon. I love the regal way the women in India walk in their saris. Beautiful. Over endeavors, Vivi. Yes, she's doing. I can see it. She's doing 3 things at once right now while simultaneously listening to prayer, and she's downloading all of it. She's like a supercomputer processor. So we're going to pause whatever we're doing right now. We'll take this opportunity each day to let go of control. We give the reins of our life over to our higher power. That is one of the ways we look at this time. We use this as an opportunity to surrender. That we have, yes, we've got so many visions, we've got so many goals, we've got things that are pressing on our heart and our mind. And we just take this moment right now to pause, to take inventory, and to reassess what is the state of consciousness I want to bring into my life, and to call out to a higher power to support us in that. And so pause whatever you're doing right now, connect to your breath, connect to a comfortable seat, comfortable pause position, calling in your intention. What is it that you're seeking in your life? What is it that you need today? To reconnect to yourself, to your higher self, to your knowing self, beyond the limitations, beyond the conditions, beyond the stories, to connect to your true self, and to receive power, from our source, to be able to bring that into every action, every thought, the rest of our day today and beyond. My dear Lord, let us live a life of intention. Let us live a life where we are conscious of our thoughts. We're conscious of the stories that we're telling ourselves day in and day out. We're conscious of that voice that we think is us, that voice that is constantly chattering, that has a comment on everything and on everyone, that thinks it's right, that thinks it is all-knowing. Help us to see that voice and help us to recognize that there is a higher voice. There's a knowing self. There's our soul, which is all-knowing when it's connected to you. Help us to be able to create that space in our life to recognize the distinction, the difference between our mind and our true self, between the illusions and the falsities and the limiting beliefs that we have, and the self-affirming truths, the natures of our consciousness, the natures of our pure souls. Help us to make that distinction, and help us to choose our thoughts that are in alignment with our pure soul, that are in alignment with our loving relationship with you and every person on this planet. And give us the courage to follow through with actions in our life that mirror the nature of our soul. As we see in our life right now, if we're troubled with those thoughts, if we're troubled with those bad habits that drain us and that pull away from our relationship with you, pull away from our connection and our clarity with our higher self, please give us the courage to be able to transform those thoughts and those actions. Give us the courage to be able to change those bad habits. They can be like gripping nails on our soul. It can be so difficult to shake them. We can find ourselves struggling and suffering in those states of consciousness and stuck in that perpetual bad habit. Give us the courage to be able to break through. Help us to see clearly how we deceive ourselves. Help us to transform any of those lies, any of those untruths that we tell ourselves, that we live our life by. Help us to transform those. Help us to see the truth in those situations, and give us the courage to be able to move toward that light, move toward that truth. That you are our higher power. And when we connect to you, crossing the ocean becomes like stepping over a little puddle on the road. The biggest insurmountable challenge can become so simple, so easy to solve. When we connect to you as a power that is beyond limits, We reactivate our true self, our true knowing self. Anything is possible. And Lord, please empower us today with the clarity, the insight, and the courage to follow through with a life of integrity, with a life that is truly aligned with your will, that is aligned with the nature of our loving, compassionate souls. We call out to you each day. We chant your names. We call out with sincerity from our heart to surcharge us with grace, to surcharge us with all those qualities, all those things which we're seeking outside of ourselves, to surcharge us and to awaken those divine gifts that are sitting dormant as the nature of our soul. We call out your names with sincerity right now, hearing with attention, and calling out like a baby calling for their mother with sincerity. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you, Vira.
Hi, Baba. Thank you.
Tell me more. What's on your heart?
Oh man, just appreciating prayer. Appreciating prayer, appreciating the space that is created by each of you guys. I know I say it every single day, but I just, I want to, it's like I'm experiencing gratitude and I want to experience more of it. So I keep on expressing it. And it gets richer and richer. And yeah, it's incredible, you know, in that when I'm closing my eyes and I'm praying with you guys, it just, yeah, it all makes sense. It all starts to make sense. And yeah, I smile at myself and I can laugh at myself and be playful with myself, you know, and just thinking about my son, just like the energy that I bring to him, you know, it's like I can be that for myself. I can call that in, you know, the love that God has for me, the love that God has for all of us, that I can experience that. I can experience that unconditional love. I can experience that grace, that it's not about what I do. It's not about how beautiful I am or how many likes I get on Instagram or how many people notice me or how much money I have. It's not about any of those things. You know, that's just that is the nature of my relationship with God. And that's everything I'm seeking. I'm seeking that pure love and that pure connection. That everything makes sense when I start to connect to that. So that is, I'm feeling grateful for that. And yeah, kind of like I want more. I want more prayer. I want more of that intention, more of that in my life, more of that connection. So grateful for this this wave. It's like every single day I get a wave. You know, when I'm walking to the office, I'm just, you know, I'll notice, you know, different states of consciousness every single day. You know, maybe, yeah, maybe the feeling that I'm running late or I'm running behind. You know, whatever it is. You know, it's so many different thoughts that can go through the mind, or you know, somebody is going through a difficulty in their life, and I'm thinking about that, and you know, and I'm thinking about it with my intelligence, and I'm thinking about it with, you know, my mind, and then I just like every day I'm walking over to the office, I'm like, I'm going to pray. I'm going to pray about the thing which I don't know, you know, or that I don't have clarity about, or that I'm not certain about, or that I am fearful of, or whatever it is. Like, oh yeah, that's what I'm doing, you know, and that's what I'm doing right now as I'm walking over. Now I'm shifting into that experience, and it's just such a it's such a simple but profound 8-minute walk every single morning, because it's literally like a microcosm of my life. I forget God on the way there, and then I remember God, and I'm like, oh wow, the sun, oh wow, the grace of God, you know, and then I forget God. And then I start to worry about something, or, you know, I'm getting excited about something or whatever it is. And then I'm like, oh yeah, you're with me. Oh yeah, that's right. And it's just this dance of remembering and forgetting and remembering and forgetting. And every single morning that I'm walking over, I'm just, as I reflect on it, as I look back over this last couple months, this little walk. And even when I was in New York, you know, I had my little routine of setting up and getting ready for the morning podcast, and the same thing, right? The same. Oh, what are we going to say today? Or what are you going to pray about today? You know, and it's like, I don't know, but it doesn't matter, you know? And sure enough, right? There's always something there. There's always a dialogue. There's always an opportunity for rich connection in that surrender, and just opening up to the idea that, you know, as I was walking, I was thinking about baby Vira as I was walking over, and I was like, just imagine, like, I'm walking with God right now. I'm walking with baby Krishna. You know, I got my little finger out and I could feel his hand wrapped around my finger. You know, it's like, that's what's happening right now. You know, and either I walk through life with baby Krishna holding onto my finger, or I forget. You know, I you know, he's in a book, or, you know, he's only when I meditate in the morning, or he's in this, oh, I see the sun. And no, every moment, he's the air I'm breathing. He's in your heart. He's I'm not speaking without him somehow or other, without this incredible creation. His intelligence, his love, his will is behind everything. And so wanting more of that in my life, wanting more of that in my life. And yeah, so I feel deeply grateful that you guys bring that into my life. What I'm experiencing right now is a byproduct of the incredible association that I'm in with each of you guys, all of your hearts. So thank you.
Thank you for bringing it into our lives. Yeah. If you're ever worried about being late, don't worry. You'll never be as late as I was yesterday.
I was thinking of excuses. I was like, all right, guys, I was walking with baby Krishna. He got little legs. He got little legs. I had to slow down. And so, you know, I had the excuse ready if I was, you know, and
you're perfect. Yeah. It sounds like a beautiful meditation and a beautiful experience you have every morning to leave the house and take that walk, that short little walk. And there's a lot going on in that walk, and you're meditating upon, you know, walking towards your prayer. And it seems like that walk itself is a meditation and a prayer, you know. And you have the opportunity to physically take that walk from your home through the woods to the office to set up. But it seems that walk, we're always kind of on that walk. And each of us are taking that walk, whether it's a physical walk or whether it's something that doesn't involve our legs. But it seems that, you know, we're always taking that walk, and how conscious am I of all the things you're just mentioning, you know, to be aware of how conscious am I in this moment. And you know, for you, the morning highlights that, but it's kind of like what I'm hearing is that it's something that you try to be conscious of throughout your entire day. Yeah. And so when you're walking back from the office to home, when you're walking from wherever, you know, keeping that consciousness. So thank you for bringing that to our minds and to just showing us that example, what that means.
Yeah, I mean, it's a work in progress for sure. Thank you for your appreciation. It's a work in progress for sure. And it's something I'm just so clear when I'm experiencing it. I'm just like, wow, like this is so rich. This is so special. Yeah, what would lead me in my life to live with any other intention, you know, than every moment being a walk with God and a conversation with God and connection with God, to be able to really reconnect, you know, in the prayers we're talking about this morning, to reconnect to truth, you know, and whatever that truth looks like, whether it is in a thought that I'm having, untruth or truth, or it's words that I'm speaking of untruth or truth, or it's actions that are aligned with truth or they're aligned with untruth, you know, whatever that may be, that starting any of those experiences and just checking in, you know, just, it's like, yeah, I think of like the pit stop, you know, in a race, or, the rest at the end of a day. It's like we see life is filled with these cycles and filled with inbuilt rituals, that the human body has to rest, and that the sun, goes down and comes up. There's night, there's dark, there's birth, there's death. And so looking at the cyclical process of our life, of our day, of our minute, of our week, of our year, whatever those experiences of time are, that creating a cyclical process, creating a process where it's built in are those check-ins, built in are those prayers, and the intention behind them, not just the structure of building in how we manage our time and what we put in practically, but the intention behind it. The intention behind it, and with that clear intention, with the, that it's something that's really truly most meaningful to us, it activates our full self, and then we believe, there's this belief that we can see that by living a life of prayer, by coming in each moment of my life with conscious intention and connecting to a higher power, connecting to a knowing self beyond the limitations, that I'm bringing my full self to life more and more. Whatever circumstance it is, whether it's service, work, relationships, practice, whatever it may be, and that I'm actualizing my true potential. I'm actually becoming that vessel of love, and it will become impossible at a certain point for us to act out of integrity with that, because we're bringing that consciousness into our life day after day after day. And so that is, I'm grateful, and I want more of that in my life. Please forgive me for my greed.
So get up here, be greedy.
Yeah, there is, it's interesting. I think about my godfather talks about selfishness to become selfless, and that in the Bhakti tradition there's a greed, there's a spiritual greed. It's called lolium in Sanskrit, and it's this hunger when we start to taste something, when we start to have an experience of the benefits of spiritual life, and living our life a little more in integrity, or living our life with a little more compassion, feeling that connection to a higher power, that we want more of it. We become greedy for it, we become hungry for it. And so I won't get hungry. I won't let that fire burn inside. I want to be hungry for truth, and hungry for compassion, and hungry for experiencing more of that unconditional love, more of those walks with the Lord, and that is, that's what's flowing. Mm-hmm.
Muted there. Bryn wrote so sweetly, I remember the first time I experienced kirtan, crying, and all I wanted was more. And I think that's a very powerful, the soul, we talk about desire. I mean, the soul by nature is filled with desire. I mean, we can't get rid of that. And so I think it's a matter of taking that that passion, that energy, and directing it towards somewhere beautiful. And so that's what I'm hearing from you, and that's what I'm hearing from the comment here. It's really beautiful. Wanting more of that is a good thing. How can I feel that desire? I want that desire to grow. I want that desire to burn bright. I want to feed that desire.
Yeah, and I love it. I love, Doyle, you got the marching call of the Bhakti Center, sadhana, sangha, and seva. It's like that we're working on our own hearts. We're working on purifying and cleansing our own hearts through chanting the Mahamantra, mantra meditation, prayer, spiritual energy, by putting ourselves into contact with a higher power and engaging in spiritual activities. It's like plugging into that power source and plugging into that cleansing process that filters out the junk from our heart and helps to reawaken our original consciousness, our dormant God consciousness, our dormant pure loving consciousness. And then to have that sangha, to have these type of conversations and dialogues, the people that we're associating with and connecting with in our life, it's crucial. Who are we walking with in life? We're walking with God, or who are those other people in our life that remind us that we're walking with God, and that they live their life in integrity in that way, so that we're inspired to keep doing that. And then that naturally, when we have that type of support in our spiritual life, when we're investing and nourishing ourselves spiritually through our practice, and we're surrounding ourselves with that inspiring sangha, and then from there, what happens is action and compassion. that we're able to move through the fears, the inhibitions, the lethargies, the whatever it is, the limiting beliefs that are stopping us from being instruments of grace, which every single one of us, every person on this planet is born to be a vessel, is born to give that love in a unique, empowered way. Each and every one of you has a specific flavor. When God's grace and God's love is moving through you, it's tuned to the nature of your soul. It's individual, a special flavor of love that is tuned to your unique soul that moves into the world and that brings that grace and in a specific way that no one else can bring. The quality, yes, we can all touch that same quality. Yes, we can all touch that grace. And that each of us individually, that there's a specific, unique purpose that we were born to live in this life. And that when we have that, when we're working, we're going within and we're surcharging ourselves with spiritual practice, we're putting ourselves around the right people, it's so much more likely that we're going to see that unique purpose unfold in our life. We're going to be empowered and have the courage not to live a life anything less than that. Every single one of you guys out there, that purpose is in your heart. It's that feeling in your heart. It's your heartbeat, right? It's the nature of your soul. And that until you feel that satisfied, right, to keep marching, to keep going deeper, and to keep putting ourselves around people that will help empower us, help us to see ourselves and to have the courage to express it. And I'm on that journey with you guys, discovering that every single day a little bit more. And that don't give up on that. That's our calling, right? And we look at the world today, we look at the world always, and especially today, there's so much intensity in the world. There's so much intensity, reaching those heights, those feverish heights, the burning sensation inside of people's hearts and minds right now with injustice and all the challenges that they're facing in this world. How can we be that today? That be our prayer today. How can we show up as vessels, uniquely, individually in our own spheres of that love and that compassion?
Thank you for being on the journey with us here. Thank you for being a captain of the ship, directing the rudder, directing the sails.
I'm just going along for the ride, y'all.
I remember when John Avey first moved to New York a couple years ago, and she stayed with us for some time, and we were having lunch one day, the three of us, you, me, and her, and talking about the river of life and the river of grace, and that sometimes all we can do is just throw our hands up and just go with the turn of that river, And so it's like we're trying to swim, trying to navigate, but it's like sometimes you just gotta, she's talking about surrender and throwing those hands up, and it was just a visual. And so I hear you saying just want to go along with the ride or go along with the flow, and sometimes that's sometimes what a captain does. He reminds us all, just hey, let go of the reins and put your hands up and let that river guide you. And so that river of grace is a beautiful reminder. Zoe, throw my hands up and say Namaha. So thank you so much, Vira, for all those beautiful reflections and prayers and intentions and reminders and realizations. Super, super helpful for me, helpful for all of us. We're super glad that you guys are here tuning in every day. You all inspire us so much. If you're listening out there in podcast platform, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, we're grateful that you're tuning in with us. Please continue to subscribe, leave us a 5-star rating. We really appreciate it. If you'd like to get in on our live Zoom group, you can check out bhakticenter.org/online or write to us at prayerrevolution@bhakticenter.org. Get our Zoom link. We also love to hear your feedback all the time. Please write to us. Please let us know how you're doing, what you'd like to see on the show. And we love you guys so much. We're grateful that you're here with us.
We're talking about our podcast today. Doyle and I, we have a meeting, and we want to see how to make it better for you guys, or I don't know, maybe if we should continue it. I don't know if it's of any value. If you guys want us to keep doing, maybe we're just blabbing on and on. But if you guys
blabbing on and on,
you want to,
when are you guys gonna shut up?
You guys want to see it keep going, or if there's anything specifically that you're hoping for that you'd like to experience more of in yeah, in this podcast that, you know, we are here for you guys, and we want to make it as relevant and as inspiring as possible for each of you. So
Yeah.
okay, we're getting some love. Okay, all right, it's enough to keep us going for another day. We're
Love
so
you guys
grateful,
so
grateful.
much. Grateful to all you guys. We'll see you tomorrow and every day. Take care. Be well. Thank you.
Okay, take care, guys. investing in learning how to communicate your life in Spanish. Thank you for that.
Yes.
We look forward. We look forward to receiving the benefits of that on Instagram and Zoom in the very near future.
I try to be multicultural, you know, I'm trying to learn.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Did you anything in closing? Otherwise, we'll
just love you guys. Be well. Take care. See you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for praying with Vira. So good to see you guys. Join us on Zoom next time. Write to us, Prayer Revolution at bhakticenter.org. Hasta mañana, Martha's Paintings. And we will see you next time. We love you guys. Be well. Stay in touch.
Adios, amigos, amigas.